Hi, I'm here today with my friend Neesa Kenemy.
Hello.
I asked, how are you?
Good.
I
Happy to.
asked her to join me on video because given the situation we're all in, I wanted to pick her brain today about what to do to help ourselves if we're sitting more and moving less. Um, so maybe Neesa, you could tell just a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah. So I'm Neesa Kenemy. I teach Pilates. I have been doing so for about 18 years now. The Pilates that I teach ranges anywhere from like physical activity right through to more like therapy, rehabilitation work. If you've got specific injuries, Pilates tends to be really great for that kind of thing. But also we go right up through just, really challenging work as well. I teach at a few studios in Toronto, Pursuit Integrative Health, as well as Pilates Process. And I also am a teacher trainer, so I teach teachers how to teach.
And you're also a dancer.
And I'm a dancer, yes. Yeah. My other life, yeah.
Yeah. And a mom.
And a mom of two, yes.
Those other roles. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to picking your brain because I know as I've been sitting more and also talking to my clients as they've been sitting more and kind of stuck at home. What keeps coming up is like, people's routines, normal exercise routines have kind of gone out the window.
Yeah.
Including my own. And it's like, well, what can I do that I could do from home? What could I do to help with the tension I'm experiencing in my back because I've been sitting more and moving less? So I was thinking of you every time someone asked me that question. I thought, I wish Neesa was here because I'm sure she has some advice. So if you don't mind, maybe I could ask you a few questions and then maybe we could demonstrate a few things.
Yeah, that'd be great. I would love that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I mean, given that we're going to be doing Pilates, what is it? Like, how would you describe Pilates?
How would I describe Pilates? It's such a big topic, but Pilates it's like a series of exercises, and they're based on functional movement patterns and your specific biomechanics. So we aim to kind of find a balance within your body between strength, stability, and mobility generally. Bodies have different sizes of muscles. Some muscles are big global mobilizing muscles like your, quads and your, six-pack muscles and your biceps. They're sort of bigger muscles and their jobs are to really move you through space and to do power things. You've also got a set of muscles in your body that are much smaller, local, stabilizing muscles. And often they get ignored when in general exercise. So Pilates tries to do both, strengthen the sort of bigger global muscles, but also strengthen the stabilizing muscles, muscles that line your spine, your rotator cuff, little muscles in your hips that just, focus on stabilizing your legs in the sockets, in the hip sockets, different glute muscles. So we really try and find a balance between the smaller muscles working and the bigger muscles working so that we can really sort of integrate your body into a, I don't know, just like a lean, mean machine.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you for that. So given that I was just mentioning, people are talking more about how they're sitting more with this COVID crisis. And
I can't believe it. I have never been somebody to sit down. Even at home, when I'm usually home, I don't sit. But wow, like I've never been so sore in my tush than I've been for the last month. Like we're at home, right? We're not walking to work. We're not walking anywhere, even to the grocery store. Wow.
Yeah, we're not doing that preparation for leaving the house, which I think accounts for a lot of the moving around the house too. Right? You're getting kids ready for school, you're bending, you're lifting, you're getting yourself ready, and you're just not doing that either. So
any of that,
you're just not moving much.
Incredible.
Why would it be like how might it affect the body generally? I know there's probably it differs for different people, but how might it affect the body if we're sitting more and moving less?
I mean, the ways it affects you are really endless. I mean, there are major health risks for one, you know, like your risk of weight gain, diabetes, heart problems. Your anxiety level will rise if you're not getting your body moving more. Yeah, so there's all of those big, you know, global health reasons, but also just on a body level, we're meant to be moving. Bodies are meant to be in motion, and they're meant to be moving in as many different ways as possible. So if you've all of a sudden found yourself sitting more, your body is going to sort of adapt. It's very good at adapting, and it will sort of adapt to sitting more, right? It'll take on the postures of sitting. You might find that your shoulders will start to round more, which will bring your head into a little bit more of a forward posture. You might find that that affects your neck from sitting. You know, your hips aren't functioning properly. Your glutes can't be working. So your body just little bit by little bit will start to change, and you'll find your energy will drop. Yeah, there's a host of things that will happen.
Mm-hmm.
More.
I'm sure there's more. I was just gonna say I have experienced that, like my hips being the tightest they've ever been because of the amount of sitting I'm doing.
Absolutely. When you're sitting, your hip flexors are not engaged at all. Your glute muscles are totally on a sort of lengthened, relaxed place. They can't be working. Same with your upper back, right? Upper back muscles tend to get super long and lengthened, which means that they lose their strength. And so we know that would decrease the amount of, you know, strength and stability in your body. And it leads to pain a lot of ways, not to mention your fascia, right? Fascia is a system in the body that goes right from the bottoms of your feet up through the top of the head. And healthy fascia is meant to move and in many different ways. And when we're sitting and we're still and we're more sedentary, it tends to sort of bunch up and get kind of clumpy. If you can imagine cotton candy when it's first spun, you know how it's like really puffy and you know, yeah, and then if it would sit in a bag for too long, it would get really kind of bunched up, and it isn't as movable. Fascia is very much like that, and we want to keep it as sort of airy and movable as possible. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
I have at home, eh? Candy floss imagery.
I always like your imagery. It's helpful. So what do you think would be important for people to do to counteract these problems that you're describing of, you know, the body kind of molding to our different sitting positions and pain and lack of mobility or tightness?
Right. Well, I mean, you have to counteract what you're doing. So if you're sitting for a long period of time, it really is important to get up and move in sort of the opposite way from sitting, right? To use your muscles in a different way. So if you're sitting for a long time or using your phone, your shoulders are hunched over, it's very important to then do the other thing. Stand up, find a nice vertical posture in your spine. Open up, allow length along the front of your body so that you start to feel the back of your body muscles work a little bit, allow those muscles to contract and find a little bit of support back there. Yeah. So there's some series of exercises that we could do.
Okay. Well, maybe we can show people some of that, and not only in this video, but we're hoping to do subsequent videos just to show people different things. But But just knowing that counteracting piece of, you know, doing the opposite.
Absolutely. Doing the opposite, getting up. You know, if you're sitting for a while, get up and do something else. Move your body around. The more movement that you have, the more likely you are to keep your muscles supple and with lots of blood flowing through them. Often when we are sitting, I just will say one more thing. We tend to feel tight. You know, that feeling of like, oh, my neck is so tight, and you feel like your muscles, you feel them tightening, right? And often that tightening isn't the kind of tightening from exercising them, it's from lack of movement. So the muscle kind of goes into this tonic state where it's just sort of short and contracted. That's almost like an emergency mode that it goes into. And we often think when you're feeling that, like in a tight neck, that you have to stretch it. And quite often it's the opposite. It doesn't want to be stretched. What it wants to do is contract. So you want to basically do exercise, right? Get the muscles working in their full range, full contractions, full relaxes, so that yeah, it can move more healthily. And often that's the thing that releases pain.
Well, that is, you're right. So the first instinct as you're sitting at your desk is to kind of like start doing this and start stretching. But in actual fact, it's probably more helpful to be activating some of those muscles in the back.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, if you think like how many years have you had neck pain and just thought, oh, I'll just keep stretching it. Well, a year later, it's still not helping. Chances are it's not going to help, right? So the opposite would be to shorten those muscles, find a little bit of, contraction of neck muscles, get them moving.
Okay.
Let's do something.
Okay. And so do you think that this, I mean, clearly, I think it's obvious that this type of thing could be done at home. I mean,
Totally.
so hopefully we'll go through some of those exercises here, but if someone wanted help to do, say, some of this work, do you think that it works to do it virtually?
It does, actually. I was skeptical at first, when COVID hit and we were home, but I've been working with a few clients and it's actually been just fine. There's a lot that I can see virtually of a client, and most of the work, even, well, Amanda, from being in the studio, I'm just kind of sitting beside you, talking you through exercises. So it really actually works quite well. All you really need is a space to lie down, like a space big enough for like a yoga mat. And then it's just fine, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, maybe we can put your information up later just in case people have questions about that or wanted to get in touch.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to answer any questions or work with anybody. Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think? Should we do some stuff?
Yeah, let's do a few things. Yeah, let's do.
I'm actually really looking forward to this. I've been sitting all morning, so I'm looking forward to this.
Let's do it.
I'm just gonna move. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to stand up?
Just stand up. I think for today, let's just do a little standing work, just because, just as a preliminary video. I'm gonna tip my screen up a little bit so you can see me. So this is just, I've just prepared a couple exercises to do. Standing just for upper back, right? So this is just like shoulders and neck and upper back mobility, and a bit of strength in there. Hi, there we are. Okay, so the first one we're gonna do, we talked about sore necks and shoulders. So I want you to take your left hand and just put it on your right shoulder. I'm gonna mirror you, so I'm saying opposite. So just holding onto your shoulder, and we're gonna just do a little shoulder lift on that right arm. And back down. And I just want you to feel with your left hand what's happening in that shoulder. As you pick that shoulder up, feel those muscles tense and tighten under your shoulder, and then allow them to relax in your neck. That's right. Lift that shoulder, allow those neck muscles, shoulder muscles to tighten, and then let them go. Again, squeezing up, working all those muscles, and then allow them to release.
Wow, it's getting hot in there.
Neat, eh? So you can really feel those muscles get tense under your fingers. It's almost like you're squeezing out a sponge. And then as your shoulder releases down, just let those muscles soften. Let's do one more on that side. Gliding up. And then allow that release to happen. Good. And rest for a moment. And just see if you can sense a difference from one side to the other. You feel that?
This one feels lower.
Feel cool. Absolutely. Yeah. So you've released some of those neck muscles. You've allowed them to work in a bigger range. Yeah. Let's try the other side. Even you out a little bit. So hand on your shoulder, just feeling all those neck muscles. Take that shoulder, glide it up towards your ear, way up nice and high, lifting good, and then let it go. Yeah, that looks nice. A few more like that, gliding up. Feel those muscles tighten under your fingers, and then let it go. Like it's a sponge. You're squeezing out, up, nice and strong. And then let the sponge fill back with air. Two more. And let it go. One more time. We're promoting blood flow in there, allowing blood to flow into those upper trapezius muscles, levator scapula, super tight muscles. And rest for a moment. How's that feel?
Feels good. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Oh, feels great. Oh, I feel like
the weight has been lifted.
yeah, my jaw has relaxed a little bit. I feel like I have a little bit more mobility in my neck right now. Yeah, it's neat. We're going to do an exercise called the sternum lift next, which is just a super small exercise to allow your upper body to move a bit. So take your one hand and put it sort of near your belly button, just sort of clock where your belly button is. The other hand's going to go on your sternum, on that bone there. And I just want you to, all this is taking your sternum up towards the ceiling, and you're going to lengthen the distance between your two hands. And then bring it back down. Let's just do that about 5 times. Taking that sternum, gliding it up away from your belly button and back down. And this is an exercise to just engage the muscles in your upper back a little bit, reminding your rib cage that it's allowed to roll up and
It's surprisingly, I don't want to say hard, but there's a lot going on in this little movement.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Yeah, yeah. It looks like nothing. That tends to be, that's the theme of Pilates, I think. It looks like nothing, but it's does quite a bit. Let's do 2 more like that. Oh. Sternum gliding up and away. And then on the way down, just allow that sternum to soften and bring you back to center. Good. So we've just now, we found a bit of shoulder work. We found a little bit of extension in your spine. Let's just do a little arm thing. Can you see my arms? Yeah, arms out to the side. This is just a warm up for rotator cuff and the fascia in your arm. So we're just gonna twist one palm down. Yeah, and then twist the other. Basically just moving your arms in ways that they don't usually move, right? We want to find as many movement patterns as possible throughout your day. Oh, twist. Feel that shoulder. Feels good, eh? Feel that shoulder twisting? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Other side. Obviously, if there's any pain in anything we're doing, you don't have to do it, right? We don't want to increase pain levels, right? Like if you know you've got like a sore rotator cuff or whatever, you know, you can even do it a little bit lower with your arms. Sometimes that's a bit easier on your shoulders. Oh, let's do 2 more. Twist. And twist. Last one. Good. And rest. Feel the heat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Feels nice and neat.
Yeah. Yeah. This is just like things that you can do standing up from your desk when you've got 10 minutes. You just stand up and do this little series of exercises. Let's do a side bend. So grab your rib cage, not your waist, but your ribs. You feel those bones? Really just feel the bones there. This is just also an awareness exercise. So those right ribs are gonna glide up towards the ceiling for a little side bend. And back. And let's go the other way. Take those left ribs, allow them to glide up towards the ceiling and back. Good.
I feel like this makes this movement much different by putting your hands on your ribs versus your waist.
Oh, neat. I find that it allows for a much more even side bend. You really want that side bend to sort of start at your tail and go right up through the top of the head. Sometimes if it's on your waist, we tend to just kind of fold in half from the waist.
I feel like this is much more efficient.
Oh, cool. Love it. I love that word. One more time. Side bend. Stay there for a second. Just take a breath in. See what happens. Feel how your ribs expand. It's almost more of a stretch when you breathe in. Yeah. Just try that one more the other side. Take that little breath in this way. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of neat, eh?
Yeah. Right.
Mobilizing. Oh, yeah, feels good. Okay, maybe 2 more. We have time for 2 more things. Let's do a little twist. So we've done an extension, we've done a side bend. Now we're going to do rotation. Take your arms forward, just slightly lower than shoulder height. Yeah, so from sideways and like that. And you're just going to pull one elbow back. So we reach forward with your right hand, pull your left elbow back into a twist. And then come back to center. Yeah, other side. I love this exercise.
Yeah.
Oh. Again, so you reach forward with your right, pull back with your left elbow. Feel that rotation in your spine and your waist. Your collarbones are wide. You can look back. Gorgeous. And back to center. Nice one, Amanda. Other side. Twist. pulling back to rotate. And center. Let's go one more right and left, or left and, yeah, this way, whatever this is. Last time, go, twist. That looks great. Big breath there, Amanda. And return. Yeah. So that's almost like a bow and arrow, right? We can think of that one like a bow and arrow. Really nice to allow those little fine muscles in your spine to rotate and strengthen while doing that.
I can feel my heart rate even going up a bit there.
Awesome.
I felt like there was a lot to do, a lot working.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Great. One more thing. Let's do this little, I call this the thank you exercise. It's just a nice exercise to get your upper back muscles working a little bit more. So I'm going to tip my screen down just a tiny bit. Okay. So this is just a roll forward. So your shoulders are actually, we're going into that super rounded position. You're going to spin your pinky fingers towards each other there. Find that little roll. And then we're going to go the opposite way. You're going to spin your palms up to the ceiling, take them into a Y shape, go back to that sternum lift. Thank you. And again, forward and down, spin the backs of your hands towards each other, round your shoulders forward, and then we go up and back. Palms face up, pressing your palms up towards the ceiling a little bit as your sternum lifts. Yeah, from the side, I'll show you what it looks like this. We go forward, little rounded shoulders. And then we flip those palms up, sternum up, breath in there. This is by far one of my absolute favorite exercises. Can you feel the load on your upper back when you take those arms up to the ceiling? Can you feel that little bit of work underneath your shoulder blades? Lining the
definitely opposite to what I'm doing when I'm sitting.
This is the antithesis of sitting, this exercise. Absolutely. Yeah. Right? Sitting is basically here, right?
Yeah.
You tend to round forward, especially towards the end of the day. And we are saying, nope, let's go the exact opposite way. Yeah. One more. And rest. Yeah. Good.
Perfect.
So I would say that is kind of like an easy, 10 minutes worth of exercises that you can do. That might have been 15. Anyway, that you can do to just sort of counteract sitting.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I feel great.
Good.
So we hope to invite you back to do some more videos on different themes. And but thank you very much for today.
It's my pleasure.
We'll be adding some information to this video somewhere once we figure out how to do it in terms of how people can get in touch.
Right.
If they have further questions or anything like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Any questions, I'm very happy to answer questions, or if you'd like to book a session as well. Sometimes if bodies have very specific injuries or, things, it's nice to sort of get a couple private sessions in and just so we can address very specific issues. But yeah, some of this work we did today is quite general and would be effective for most people. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.